welcome to my channel. Thanks for tuning in. Today I want to talk about a little bit of the heart wounds, the pain that we have in our heart. What heart wounds are, how do we acknowledge them and start to help ourselves heal, and then also receive God's hand in healing our heart and restoring it, and then after guarding it. These are the important things we need to know in our lives about our heart, because our heart flows out the issues of life. It says in the scripture. So the more we guard and protect it and know what happened to it and how to protect it more from what happened to it, the better we can. So let's dive into what heart wounds are. So what are heart wounds? Heart wounds refer to deep emotional or psychological pain, often caused by experiences like losing a loved one, so loss or grief, infidelity or broken trust, betrayal, abandonment or rejection, abuse or trauma, neglect or emotional unavailability. So to repeat them to you, the 5 heart wounds: losing a loved one, infidelity or broken trust, abandonment or rejection, abuse or trauma, neglect or emotional unavailability. So yes, you can get heart wounds for people being emotionally unavailable to you and not attentive to your feelings. And I know that's interesting for a lot of people because people don't think that, but it's true. Now, these wounds can affect how someone relates to themselves, others, and even the world. It also often shows up as fear and intimacy, self-doubt, low self-worth, or emotional numbness. Now, emotional numbness can happen from having been going through emotional unavailability. But those are typically the heart wounds and what it can do to alter your character and personality. But I want to talk a little bit about recognizing the heart wounds. So let's get into that. So how do we recognize the heart wounds? You keep repeating painful relationship patterns. So you're dealing with the same cheater or liar or abusive person or crazy woman or abusive men. Whatever the situation is, your relationships repeat the same. You fear being vulnerable or open up emotionally. So you have a hard time expressing who you are, your fears, your aspirations and dreams, or being vulnerable as to who you are and your background. Sometimes we can be very close off when it comes to heart wounds based on what part of the heart did they wound. You overreact to situations that seem minor on the surface. So you're a very big dramatic person. You make a scene on small things because you have so much pain that you haven't released that you're easily triggered. You feel a persistent sense of emptiness, unworthiness, or distrust. So you're constantly feeling like you're not worth it. You have issues with your self-esteem, your value. You don't know who you are as a person. You don't know what you bring to the table. You distrust yourself and others because you're unsure of who you are. You shut down or withdraw when conflict or intimacy arises. So when you're getting into conflict with people, you can shut down or remove yourself from them. You have a hard time with intimacy and being connected to people. So these are some things that heart wounds, you can recognize you have heart wounds because these are some of the traits or things that you'll be going through. Like for me, for instance, I knew I had some heart wounds because I had a fear of being vulnerable and opening up with people. I also shut down and withdraw a lot in conflicts, and I had an issue with intimacy. I never really knew how to connect with people. And some of this other stuff I've been throughout my life, but I felt like my 2 prime things were those. That's how I really start to recognize my heart wounds. Plus also the repeating painful relationship patterns was one for me too. So this helped me to start recognizing my heart wounds. Like, okay, yeah, somebody hurt me, something I'm still not healed from, So these are some good ones. Also, when it comes to recognizing heart wounds, just start paying attention to your emotions when you're going through certain difficult situations in life, or how people respond to you, or how you respond to people when you're not liking something. This will also teach you as well as your heart wounds. I can give an example on that when I said how you respond to people, your behavior. For me, I found I knew some of my heart wounds were there when people yell at me, or when I'm like back in the corner. I get real tight, and I knew that was a trigger for me. Like, and I couldn't figure out why I was getting so uptight by yelling. And I had to go back into my heart wounds to remember what happened when I would get yelled. So just those kind of things that help you to recognize your heart wounds, so you can know what areas you can start looking into a little bit deeper on why you have that wound. Practical steps that you can take to start healing. Here are some good ones. Acknowledging the pain, so recognizing it, feeling the feelings for it. So once you recognize this pain, when you're going through this process, the feelings are going to come back up, so you're going to have to learn how to go through it. And I learned that as well, because when I started thinking about like changing my heart wounds and figuring out how they started, I was feeling those same feelings that brought the wound in the first place. And I realized I was still feeling it because I never went through it. I kind of was blocking it or ignoring it or pushing it or running from it. And when you start to acknowledge your pain and then feel the feelings, you have to go all the way through it. Identifying the root. So once you get through those feelings, now you have the clear mind to identify where that root is that caused it. Then you practice self-compassion. So you have to be graceful with yourself. You have to say that I understand that this happened to me. This is what happened. This is how I feel. This is what they did. But I'm okay now. I'm learning from this and I'm moving forward. Then you got to set boundaries and choose safe connections. So once you know what the problem was, you have to set the boundary so it doesn't happen again. You're preventing it, taking preventive measures to protect that. And then you're choosing safe connections after. So you're choosing people who's valuing that boundary, actually following the boundary, and teaching you to earn, I'm not teaching you, but showing you to earn their trust. Showing you can earn their trust. So that's somebody that you would want to bring back in as a safe connection. They're giving you actions on how to trust them. They're showing you, basically, how I'm trying to say it. And then consider therapy and seek Jesus. That's what I did. I did therapy just to gain clarity and the knowledge and the wording on what was going on with me mentally and emotionally, because I never had it. I never knew how to express it or say it. And I wanted a professional to really hear me and then really give me some professional information that I can also look into and combine, because you can't always just listen to what people tell you what's wrong with you. You have to start reading it, looking into it, really seeing if you have these symptoms, really understanding your wound, really trying to get what the therapist is doing for you. Because if you're just going through therapy and you in a session every week and you don't know what the purpose is of what the teachings they're doing for you, you can find yourself wasted a lot of time. Like, I remember I never got a real clear understanding on what DBT was until I actually had to look into it. Then when I went to my therapies, it made me understand what she was asking me and what it was supposed to be doing for me. So once I found out what it was doing for me, I would pray on it with God so he can show me how to live it throughout my day-to-day tasks, because I wasn't seeing my therapist and talking to her all day, every day. So even though I have this information, I have to know now, what do I do with it? And I have to seek the Lord for him to give me the strategy on what to do with the knowledge I was receiving. So it's always important when you get that information to seek the Lord and figure out how to move in it. And he'll show you. Now, how does God heal our heart wounds? So I gave you information on how to recognize the heart wound, how you can take practical tips to start your healing journey toward it. But how do we receive God's healing in the heart? Because his healing is supernatural and way better than our healing. Our healing is to give us the knowledge and wisdom to help us guard our heart. But his healing is to remove it and purify it and give us a new, clean heart. Take away all that stuff. And once he does that, and then we have the knowledge on what got us those heart wounds, we can now know the boundaries need to be in place to guard our heart. So let's go back to how God heals the heart. Number one, he acknowledges your pain. He knows our pain. This is in Psalms 34:18. God doesn't dismiss your suffering. He validates it. He lets you know, yeah, you went through that. Yes, that happened to you. Yes, that was terrible. He validates and acknowledges. He's a caring God. Number two, he offers comfort and safety. So once he acknowledges and he's spoken to you and he's validated you, he's going to now comfort you and let you know you are safe in his hands. He's going to let you know that from Proverbs 18:10, God becomes a refuge when your heart feels unsafe or exposed. He lets you know, now give me your heart and I'm going to hold it, I'm going to cleanse it and take care of it for you. And that's what we have to remember, that God is here to heal. That's it. Number 3, he speaks truth over the lies, pain that was told to you when you were going through those heart wounds. And this is in Isaiah 43:1. The heart wound will speak, you are not enough, unworthy of love. So when you think about that, this is not a scripture, this is just what the heart wound will speak. The heart wound will speak that you're not worthy of love, you can't receive love, people hate you, or you deserve what happened to you, you missed it, you stupid, you should have known, you know, you're smarter than this. They'll tell you all type of stuff, but we have to remember those are all lies. Sorry guys, I had to take a breather. Number 4, he walks with you through the healing process. So as we're healing and we're learning about ourselves, we're learning about our heart wound, we're recognizing ours, we're letting the Lord come into our life and heal us. And as we're doing that, we are learning how to start setting boundaries to protect our heart. He's walking with us through all of that. This is also seen in Psalms 23:4 and in Jeremiah 30:17. Healing is often a journey, not a moment, and God doesn't rush it. So this process is ongoing. It can be for years. It's actually throughout your lifetime, because we have wounds in our heart that cleanses and needs to be cleansed. And once we know that and we allow God to do it, and then start actually seeking self-reflection and helping ourselves, then we can understand the difference between our heart when it was broken and our heart as it's getting clean. And I think that's also so important when I think about when God heals the heart, because even though we can put all these practical tips in, we can get all this information and knowledge, we truly need the Lord to heal our heart, because he removes that from us. And then when he removes that from us, he fills us with him. He comes in our heart. And that's what we really want, is him in our heart, because he is going to be the ultimate protector of the heart. He's going to be the guider of the heart. He's going to speak to the heart. And he's going to heal. And that's what we really need, is healing from all the pain. Now, how do we guard our heart after the Lord heals it? So after we learn about the heart wound, know what it is, we know what it is now, we recognize our own heart wounds, we're taking these practical tips to start doing it out in our life, as you know, the work. But now we have to pray for the Lord to come heal, his supernatural power, for while we're doing the work that we're supposed to do, to give us the knowledge and wisdom on it, as well as the application on how to have it in our lives and teach it to others. He's also in there working, doing his magic. And after he has healed us, or I should say as he is healing us, the steps that we have to take to guard our heart after he heals us is a few of them that I wrote down. But I wanted to read this really quickly here. It says, when the Lord begins to heal your heart, it's important to protect that healing so old wounds don't reopen and new ones don't settle in. And the reason why I wanted to read that is because that's the reason why we guard our heart. We're not guarding our heart because we're trying to be protective over humanity or everyone's rude and mean. We're really guarding our heart because wounds come into our heart, and then the issues of the wounds flow out into our life. And if we have so much wounds in our heart, we're blocking the goodness that can come in, the love that can come in, the God that can come in. He can't live in us if we so blocked up with wounds. He has to heal us. He has to come in a nice, clean heart. And once we have it clean, we have to guard it. That's why he says we have to protect our heart, because how can he walk with us and live with us and share life and speak to us if we keep constantly let people in, breaking our hearts, and we close off, and we can't be a light. So one, we got to stay rooted in God's truth. This is in Proverbs 4:23. Number 2, set boundaries with wisdom. So that's why you have to understand your heart wounds. You have to understand the practical ways to get rid of them, or to not get rid of them, but to heal them. Because without that wisdom, you can't set no boundaries. If you don't know your heart wound and you don't know what caused it, you don't understand the feelings that happened with that and how to prevent it moving forward, you can't put no boundary there. And this is in Matthew 10:16. Okay? Number 3, stay connected to God in prayer. You have to pray. How are you talking to God if you ain't praying? You know, you got to speak to him. John 15:5. There's only so much worship. We have to speak to the Lord. Number 4, watch what you let in. Psalms 103:3. Your eyes are the gatekeepers to your heart. If you're letting trash in your eyes all day, then you can't hear the Lord. Number 5, walk in community. Walk with people who align with you. Walk with people who believe in Jesus. Walk with people who want the same lifestyle when it comes to values and beliefs in the Lord. Walk with people who want to be married. Walk with people who want love in their life. Don't walk around with people that hate people, blame about it, can't stand. Don't walk with nobody every day you talk to them, they gossip about somebody. Walk with a community that has integrity and love and is ready to support and push forward. We see this in Ecclesiastes 4:9-10. We have to guard our heart. We can't guard our heart if we're walking with people that's trying to trample over it. And we can sit there and say that just because somebody like this don't mean I'm like that. But honestly, if your bird walk together, they flock together. So if y'all both doing stupidity, if somebody else is doing stupidity, eventually you're going to be that person right along with them. Because you're going to pick up on their behaviors. That's why you got to walk in community, because if you're with somebody with the same values and beliefs, they're going to have a certain behavior. They're going to have a certain character. And you won't be able to act or grow into that poor behavior character because you're going to be surrounding yourself with people with good character. So you got to surround yourself with people that's the same as you. You can always speak to people who aren't like you and commune and things like that, talk, but your inner circle should be a reflection of you and your character. Let's think about another thing on how we guard our hearts. So we said, number 1, stay rooted in God and truth. Set boundaries with wisdom. Stay connected to God in prayer. Watch what you let in. And walk in the community. Then here's some other ones. Speak truth daily over yourself. Speak the word over yourself. Speak positivity over yourself. Speak I am affirmations over yourself. Speak your vision over yourself. Speak anything but negativity into your life. Even if today gonna be a good day, I'm gonna push through, I'm love, God, whatever it is you gotta say it in positivity so it can keep your spirit healthy. And it can guard your heart, because if you speak in negativity all day, it's gonna speak to your heart. And what's crazy is, I was literally watching this show, and it's just an example, and the dude, it was a son and father, and the son was so angry at the father that he told the father that no one could ever love him. So when the father went back home with his wife, him and his wife got in an argument, and he told her to get out. And he said, you can never love me, no one can. So he basically took somebody else's words and spoke it into his own life. And that's why you have to stop listening to people too, as well. And then another one is ask God for discernment in relationships. So when I say you got to seek prayer, it's because God teaches you and shows you. And when you're in prayer and you seek his discernment, he's going to let you know the relationships that align with the spirit that's in you, because you will feel it. Number 3 is keeping a rhythm of prayer and quiet time. So enjoying quiet time, walking in silence, hanging out in silence, whatever it is. Sometimes I like to cook when it's quiet, clean when it's quiet, do whatever. Or when I'm working, it'll just be quiet. It just helps me hear the Lord, I think. And then 4, be intentional about what feeds your soul. So like I said, what your eyes, ears, and mouth is receiving on a daily basis. Number 5 is stay around people who speak life, hold you accountable, and love you like Jesus. So you want people around you who are going to speak support and positivity into you. You want people that's going to hold you accountable for who you are and your word and your character, and also let you know if you're in the wrong. Love you like Jesus. So even through all of it, they have unconditional love towards you, and it's shown through their actions and behaviors, not just words spoken. So we have to remember that as well. I really hope these guys help you understand your heart wounds, how to let God come in and heal your heart, and then once it's healed, how to protect your heart so God can continue to fill you and do good works in you. Be blessed.